Welcome back to another Madden 20 video. Hi for you guys here today. Today it's going to be a fantasy style rebuild of the Miami Dolphins, the lowest overall team in the entire game, so this should be a fun one. But before I get too deep into this video, if you guys are new around here and end up enjoying this one and are looking forward to some more franchise rebuilds down the road, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. It'd be really cool if you can come back for my next upload. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter or join my Discord, links to those are down below. But now, let's talk about this team, right? I'm pretty sure I got all the draft picks in order, at least the really important ones. You know, I got a couple first-round draft picks from various teams like the Texans and the Steelers, because recently, just yesterday, as of me recording this, the Dolphins traded Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Steelers for their first-round draft pick. So now I've acquired that, so that should help with this rebuild. Along with that, though, we also, of course, have the Dolphins' first-round draft pick, and then the Texans' first-rounder this year, the Texans' first-rounder next year, and their second-rounder next year. So we have a ton of draft picks to work with. Also, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins have 2 second-rounders this year, their own second-rounder, and I'm pretty sure they have the Saints' second-round draft picks. So this should be a pretty fun rebuild to have. It'll likely last like 4 years. I doubt this is going to be a 3-year one because this team is in a terrible spot, but it's okay. They're going full rebuild in real life, trying to draft as many players as possible. The only issue with that is now a lot of these better players on the team are looking to leave. Like Minkah Fitzpatrick wanted to get traded. I heard potential rumors about Xavier Howard. I don't know if he said anything or people are just speculating he may just end up wanting to leave because he's a very good cornerback, right? Kenyon Drake asked to leave. This is an interesting group, but we're going to try to do the best we can with this team. I'm really hoping for a horrible first season. Also, Josh Rosen's definitely going to be the starting quarterback, but I really want a bad first season. I want to get the Dolphins draft pick to be first or second or third, something like that. That would be awesome. I don't want to make too many crazy trades for players. I'd like to get a couple young core pieces on this team and then hopefully fill the rest in the draft and free agency. But anyway, let's talk about the team. Josh Rosen, the starting quarterback. He's been put in 2 very bad situations since he's been in the NFL. He started out on the Cardinals, who had a very bad roster last season. They still don't have the best roster, but Josh Rosen was not in a good position last year. And now he's probably on the worst roster, honestly, in recent memory. I don't remember a roster being this bad. Honestly, I feel like, the Browns team or the Lions team that went winless, I think they would crush this team. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know exactly, but this team does not seem like it's going to beat anybody anytime soon. Who knows? Maybe they'll kick it up a notch and go 14-2. That would be ridiculous. Kenyon Drake, though, here at running back, he's not horrible in real life, but he plays terribly in Madden. I don't know if it's changed this year, but in recent Maddens, he's been abysmal. Kalen Ballage is the power halfback on this team. I guess he's classified as an elusive back, but definitely has some, trucking stats. 91 speed, 85 trucking, and I'll take it. Mark Walton, Myles Gaskin also here. Gaskin's a rookie, of course, out of Washington. So I don't know if I'm going to get him involved. Honestly, I might just trade for a running back and go that route. Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson, and Jakeem Grant, the wide receivers. But Preston Williams, I want to get involved. He's been good so far this year, was great in the preseason, was good in practice and stuff like that. So I kind of want him to be the number 1. Maybe Devontae Parker, number 2. Albert Wilson, the slot for this year. Jakeem Grant, I like a lot. He's super fast. He's a great kick returner, if anything. So he's going to stay on the team because he has value in that regard. The offensive line, I'm not even going to talk about it. Literally the highest overall is a 67, so that's fun. Mike Gesicki, of course, was phenomenal at Penn State, one of the better tight ends in that draft class, a year ago. He didn't get too much playing time his rookie year. I don't know how much he's playing now, to be honest. And then defensively, gets a little bit better on the side of the ball, of course. They have Xavier Howard. He's a great number 1 corner, lockdown corner, very expensive. Pretty sure he was like the highest paid corner or something. I don't know if he still is. I don't know if another corner already got a contract or what happened, but I think at one point he was at least the highest paid. Could still be, of course. Eric Rowe, Johnson, Badmosi, right? Badmosi, however that's pronounced. There, Cordrea Tankersley. I don't know who Wiltz is, to be honest. Jamal Wiltz. Okay, I don't know who that is at all. And then Bobby McCain is playing free safety. Thought he was a cornerback. I don't know. I may end up trading him. I mean, he's only 26, which isn't horrible, but I'm pretty sure he's kind of expensive, so I think I kind of want to get rid of him. Rashad Jones, I'll probably get rid of. Honestly, I'm just going to continue this tank fest they have going on by trading away a lot of their better players. There's not many left, to be honest. There's not many players, I should say, there's not many players left with value. But I kind of want to trade away a couple of these older guys who have some value. Rashad Jones being one of them. He was excellent, for the Dolphins in the past. But he's 31 years old, 83 overall. He really is not going anywhere in Madden terms, so I'm going to try to get rid of him. I don't really think I'm going to trade for many draft picks. I'll probably prioritize players a little bit here. Just like I said earlier, trying to get like a young core group of players. Raekwon McMillan and Jerome Baker, though. Those are two guys who should stay on the team. Raekwon McMillan certainly will stay on the team. Jerome Baker will probably kick outside somewhere. I'm sure I'm going to have Charles Harris move down to defensive end. I don't know if this team's set up as like a 3-4 or what, but Robert Camdici, it's kind of like a 3-4 defensive end, 4-3 D tackle he could play. He could probably play on the edge, to be honest. 77 speed isn't all that bad. Christian Wilkins, I definitely won't playing defensive tackle. That's what he's listed as right now, but he's for some reason playing on the edge. I'll probably have Charles Harris move down there as well, and then, I don't know, who's this guy? I don't know if this guy's a pass rusher at all. He's a run stopper. Okay, he's a rookie at 26 years old. All right. I guess I can have him starting outside linebacker if I don't get anybody else. Honestly, I don't know. This is an interesting group of players. We're going to have to figure something out. But let's get into some trades. Of course, this is not realistic. The realistic rebuild for this team will come later. I just wanted to get a fantasy style one out of the way. To be honest, I think it'll be more fun doing this one. Also, I'm not trying to like disrespect the team, right? I kind of just crapped on their overall, but it's just obvious. There are 63 overall in the game. I don't really, have a poor opinion about the Dolphins or anything, honestly. Like, they're a fine team. I'm pretty neutral on them. I wasn't trying to, degrade them too much, but they're not good. I think even Dolphins fans can understand that one. But here we go. Let's dismantle the rest of this team, I guess. Rashad Jones, Chase Allen, and a second-round draft pick are going to the Browns for Nick Chubb, who will likely be our #1 running back the rest of this time. I traded for this player quite a bit, but he's good and he's easy to get. Ryan Fitzpatrick for Will Hernandez, and I think I'm going to trade with the Giants here once again. Bobby McCain, Kenyon Drake, and Allen Hurns are going to the Giants for their first rounder. I think that's the only first round draft pick I will get because, like I mentioned before, we have a ton of them. Now, I'm going to do my best to trade the rest of the trade value on this team for just a couple other players. Daniel Kilgore, Nick O'Leary, and Ricardo Lewis will get me Gary and Conley. Yeah, so the team did not really get much better. We're 63 overall still. I'm pretty sure that was the original overall, but at least we added a couple, core pieces. That's exactly what I wanted to do. We got one more draft pick as well, so that should help out a little bit. Will Hernandez now will be the left guard of the future, and then Nick Chubb, of course, will be the running back of the future. Nothing else really changed on offense in terms of us getting new players at, any offensive positions. Defensively, I did not rework what the depth chart looks like, so I'll be right back. My bad, I forgot about that. I think everything now should be in place. So on the defensive side, the only thing I changed was, about the defensive line. It was just Christian Wilkins, the #1 defensive tackle, and then Charles Harris moving to the left end position. He's still an outside linebacker, technically, but it doesn't really make a difference here. I guess, okay, I can move him to left end. That might actually screw things up, because that's what usually happens. No, okay, it didn't change anything. He's just down there at left end still. Also, I signed Adrian Colbert in free agency. I just needed a free safety for this year, and honestly, he has star dev. He's a 68 overall. Maybe something can come of it. I highly doubt it, though. I didn't want to sign anybody too good either. I just kind of wanted to sign somebody under a 70 just to fill it in for this season. But yeah, that's the team. It's really not special. Also, Andrew Van Ginkel is starting now. I forgot that he's on this team. He's a rookie as well. He's pretty old for a rookie, too. He's 24 years old out of Wisconsin, but still, I'm good with it. He can start. That's the team. I don't really expect much. I really hope we go 0-16, to be honest. At least, I just hope we at least ensure the #1 overall pick. That would be great. I'm at week 4 here. I just decided to stop the simulation right now because I wanted to scout all that good stuff, but we have a ton of different prompts. Before I do that, though, I'm actually curious as to how the season went so far, because obviously at this point right now, the first 2 weeks of the NFL season happened, and the Dolphins got destroyed both weeks. Let me see how accurate those games were. 52-17. Pretty accurate, to be honest. That's actually pretty close to what the actual outcome was. This is not at all. 21-14. We actually almost beat the Patriots. Interesting. And then the Cowboys, 42-10. I can definitely see that happening. But anyway, here we go. Devontae Parker's frustrated. That's fine. I don't really know what to do about you here. I just hit something, man. I'm sorry. What did that do? +1 morale for your entire offense. Okay, I didn't mean to hit that. But more importantly, we have a breakout player for Mike Gesicki. What does he have to do to get star? Just needs 100 yards and like 2 touchdowns, or 100 yards or 2 touchdowns? Yes. Okay, come on. Josh Rosen. Give him the ball. We also have a frustrated running back in Nick Chubb. Stop the losing streak. I'm not going to even talk about those because it doesn't matter. We're going to lose anyway. It's the Chargers, even though they are also 0-3. Interesting. But let me scout, and then I'll let you guys know if Mike Gesicki went up to star. I got the scouting done, and now I am advancing. Let's see. What happened with Mike Gesicki? Did he not get it? He didn't get it. No! I wonder how close he was. I'm actually curious. I want to check. We won! Wow, okay. That's different as well. Did not expect to win that game. Now, Mike Gesicki, 2 for 24 and a touchdown. If he could have gotten one more touchdown, he would have gotten it. It's alright, though. So at week 9, we have to take on the Jets, but right before this week, we tied to the Steelers 19-19. We got a weekly award winner. Xavier Howard, 12 tackles, 1 interception. Alright. Let's check out the record, though. 2-4-1. Honestly, 2 more wins than I wanted right now. 4-3 though for the Jets, 5-3 for the Patriots, 2-5 for the Bills. We don't even have the worst record. How is this possible, dude? We have a 63 overall team. How do we not have the worst record in the division? Whatever. Let's check out offensive experience points. We have 1 pretty much going around for everybody. That's cool to see, I guess. And then defensively, Christian Wilkins has star development. That was revealed. Raekwon McMillan, 2 experience points. Andrew Van Ginkel, 2. Colbert, 2. And then a couple other guys with 1 also. Charles Harris down there has 2. Who has to come back to the team? Hopefully, like, no one important. Is that Matt Hawk? Is that our punter? That is our punter. Okay. Eric Rowe, I don't really think I want. Robert Kimdichie, maybe. If he had a good season, I'll bring him back to the team. But honestly, the only one I want here is Matt Hawk. So, let's bring him back. We have $120 million in cap room. Oh my good lord. This is going to be a fun offseason. This may be the best left tackle draft class I've ever seen. There are 4 guys who legitimately look like they can go like top 5. That's kind of unreal. Hopefully we can get one of them. Did we make the playoffs? Why am I even asking that? Okay, of course we did not end up making the playoffs. This is taking longer than usual though. Okay, cool. We didn't make the playoffs, but we beat the Patriots, man. Why are we winning? 3-12-1, that's good at least. We also probably ruined the Patriots' hopes of making the playoffs, which is very funny. 10-6 for the Jets, 7-9 for the Bills. Check out these statistics. Josh Rosen was actually pretty good. Almost 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 picks. Not the greatest completion percentage, but he has essentially a college offensive line blocking for him. And doesn't have many, targets to throw to. So I'm actually okay with this season. That's not too bad. Nick Chubb was also pretty good. 4.6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. Definitely some potential for him. Albert Wilson was phenomenal. Over 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Preston Williams wasn't too good. Devontae Parker, not too good. Mike Gesicki, not horrible, I guess. This is probably really bad. Yeah, okay, that's what I expected. That's fine. Okay, we're going to upgrade. Raekwon McMillan, though, 141 tackles. 2 interceptions, 6 tackles for loss. Okay, that should be a lot of experience points. 15 tackles for loss for Devon Godshaw and Christian Wilkins. I don't think we have to worry about defensive tackle, if I'm being honest. 5 sacks for Devon Godshaw leads the team. Man, we got, like, no pressure. Jerome Baker also had a good year. But the defensive line was not very good at getting sacks. 3 interceptions, though, from Gary and Conley. 2 from Jerome Baker, Raekwon McMillan, Cordrea Tankersley, and Xavier Howard. 1 from Tank Carradine, Walt Akers. Wait, Tank Carradine got a pick? Okay. Walt Akins, I think I said Akers. Johnson, Bademosi, Eric Rowe, and that is it. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. Is it Bademosi, Bademosi, something like that? No defensive touchdowns, no safeties. We have 2 blocked kicks, though, from Bademosi and Andrew Van Ginkel. And 2 forced fumbles for Gary and Conley, 1 for Christian Wilkins. And only 1 of those was recovered. Okay, so 27th on offense. Very surprising that's not last. Defense is last. That's not surprising whatsoever. MVP goes to Cam Newton. Offensive Player of the Year, Deshaun Watson. Defensive Player of the Year, Bernardrick McKinney, but I'm expecting Raekwon McMillan. There he is at number 5. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Marquise Brown. Anybody from the Dolphins? No. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Josh Allen's going to win. Christian Wilkins at number 4. Andrew Van Ginkel at number 7. So, hopefully Raekwon McMillan got a lot of experience points. I'm actually expecting him to, because he had a really good season, but I'm actually going to wait until the Super Bowl to show this off. In the Super Bowl this year, it's the Seahawks versus the Ravens, so I'm going to be simulating here. Let's see who comes out victorious. It is going to the Seahawks, 42-23. Also, I didn't get a chance to spend my coach experience. My bad, honestly, I kind of forgot. But here we go. Let's check out potential dev upgrades. One of my favorite parts of the season, Albert Wilson goes up to Superstar. Fair enough, he had a great season, I guess. I'll take it. Defensively, Raekwon McMillan also went up to Superstar. I think Gary and Conley went up to Star. That's not bad at all. I will take those 2 upgrades. Raekwon McMillan is going to be huge. He has 4 experience points as well. let's go. I'm excited for him to, you know, be on the team for a while. But let's advance the week, go into free agency. Actually, really quickly before I do that, let me make sure nobody else showed up here. I could bring back Adrian Colbert, but I don't really want to. Brock Osweiler ended up on the team again, too. Yeah, I don't really want anybody here, honestly. Nobody, in my opinion, played well enough to get a contract again. So, let's advance the week. I don't want to spend, like, a ton of money in free agency, right? We have a lot to spend. I could go that route. We have $97.65 million. Like, I just don't want to sign everybody. Like, you know, I don't want to go that route. I want to sign a good number of players, though. Kendall Fuller, the top player. Chris Jones, I think... The issue with this is, you know, Chris Jones will help out a ton. But Devon Godshaw and Christian Wilkins played well. Honestly, I kind of want to give them another chance. Yannick Ngakoue is a player I would like to bring in, though. Joe Tooney is probably a player I'd like to bring in. Ronald Darby, potentially. I need another corner. So who do I want? I can actually use a nickel corner. So Kendall Fuller could be good. Mike Hilton wouldn't be bad. Anybody go up to Superstar down here? I don't think so. I'm not seeing anybody, but, you know, I'm going to go after a few different positions. I'll let you know who I get. Alright, so the strategy of not spending that much money kind of went out the window. I decided to go after a lot of players. We got Joe Schobert. We did not get Yannick Ngakoue. I gave him 10 more points than the second team. I guess you got to go more than that, man. Joe Tooney, though, is joining the team, and I don't think I heard back from one or two other players. At least one. And it is only one. Okay, Kendall Fuller, we are still the top bid on. What happened to Yannick Ngakoue? I gave him 105 points. Which one did he accept? I went right by him, didn't I? 96? Okay. Well, I guess he didn't want to join the Dolphins. That's fair. I guess I can't really blame him too badly. And Chris Jones is still here, man. It's so tempting. I feel like I go after him all the time, though. I probably shouldn't. But I definitely need some more pass rush, so I'm probably going to go after one of these guys here. I'm also just realizing this, man. How do I pick second? Who has the first pick? What are you talking about? 3-12-1 isn't the first pick? Dude, the Broncos went 2-13-1. Are you kidding me? Alright, well, at least I have a top 3 pick, I guess. We got Emmanuel Ogbah, and we also got Kendall Fuller. So I don't know if Emmanuel Ogbah will end up starting, you know, ultimately, because there's a couple different edge rushers I'd like to select. Maybe if I can get 2, then I won't need him to play. I just wanted to sign him just to get a player who could play if I needed him to. So if that's the case, you know, if I end up getting a different pass rusher, it's not that big of a deal if Emmanuel Ogbah just backs him up. I didn't really pay all that much for him anyway. Okay, we are entering the draft. Like I kind of brought up before, we do not have the first overall pick. It actually is going to the Broncos. I imagine the Broncos are going to go with this middle linebacker, who I think is going to be very good. He won the Heisman. It looks like he's going to be one of the better players in this entire draft class, Javonte Hurts. But I don't really need a middle linebacker on this team. I think the top player on my draft board may be this wide receiver. James Halterman looks really nice. Could see the Broncos going with him as well, to be honest. But also, then, we need some edge, you know, presence on this team for sure. And Amari Walker also looks very good. I'm just in a weird position right now, right? Because Amari Walker looks nasty, right? He looks very good. How fast is Jimmy Edison? Okay, he could potentially play edge for us, right? Or I could also go this route, Roosevelt Glenn. I know he's a defensive tackle, but in the past, I'm pretty sure, this was in my Patriots rebuild, I moved the defensive tackle out to edge, and within like 2 seasons, he went up to an X Factor. So I don't know exactly what I want to do. Honestly, Amari Walker or Roosevelt Glenn both look like they could play excellent at edge. So I don't know yet. Regardless, though, I'm going to be simulating this draft pick. The Broncos go with James Halterman, the wide receiver. Okay. So now we're in a position where I can either go the other wide receiver, Lewis Waters, who looks pretty good, right? He looks nice. Or I could go defensive end, or I could trade down. I'm probably gonna look at the trade down options before I decide to do anything anyway. So let's go with that. Let's just go with that for now. What is being offered? I would like a first rounder this year still. That is still high. That's a first and a third this year, a second next year. Honestly, I want something still within the top 5 for this. I don't want to trade down that late. Let's see if I can get both of the Raiders first rounders for this year. I'm giving up a first rounder and a third rounder this year along with a second next year for both of the Raiders first rounders this year. I think that's a pretty Pretty good trade from us, but let's advance now. Let's see who the Raiders decide to go with. They traded up to get Javonte Hurts, that middle linebacker. He's a 72. I didn't really want him, so I'm comfortable with that. But here I think I'm going at defensive end. I think I'm going to go Amari Walker. Just because, you know, last time I tried the whole defensive tackle kick outside thing, it really worked out, right? But let's go with the pure edge rusher now. Amari Walker, welcome to the team. He's a 78 overall, hidden dev trait, ranked number 1, meaning there's, you know, probably somebody else better than him or, you know, tied with him at overall. 83 speed, 88 acceleration, 78 strength, 79 play rec, 85 finesse moves. I'm expecting huge things from this guy. So the next pick we have is not until pick number 10. Virgil McBean. I kind of wanted him too. He had a pretty good draft story about him, and of course, man, freaking whole data reorder thing is always here. At one point, I definitely want a left tackle. Who should we go with? Tim Murrell had a good draft story about him. I almost want to go Tim Murrell here just because he was supposed to go in the early first round, which leads me to believe he's at least a pretty good left tackle. Honestly, I feel like he's going to be the best right tackle, but I really can't go wrong, honestly. I could still go Roosevelt Glenn. That makes sense. He's supposed to go late first round. Our next pick is number 14. I can probably get him then, too. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to go with Roosevelt Glenn next pick, and then probably have him play the other edge position. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. So I think here we're going to go either left tackle or wide receiver. And there's no other wide receivers who I really want. Let's go left tackle then. Let's go Tim Murrell. He's a 75 overall, hidden dev trait. I will take it. Ranked number 6, took him at number 10. 88 strength, 76 run block, 84 pass block. Really bad run block finesse, but it's fine. He is one of our better offensive linemen already. Why is the hold A thing still there? Dude, it's annoying. But here, I think we're going to go defensive tackle. Right, is he still available? He is. Roosevelt Glenn. I think this dude is going to be so good. 78 overall, hidden dev trait, ranked number 2 in the entire draft. He has 78 speed, 83 finesse moves. He can certainly play outside. You know, 294, he's approaching 300 pounds. Doesn't make too much sense, but it doesn't really matter. He can play very well for us at defensive end. I really wish that thing would go away. The way the offensive line's set up now, we just drafted a left tackle. Left guard can be Will Hernandez. Center is to be determined. Right guard can be Joe Tooney, and I still need a right tackle. Okay, so I can use center or right tackle at this point. Are there any right tackles left? Okay, none in the first round. What about that right guard? No, he's gone too. Okay, so I think I am down to having to wait for another offensive lineman. That's fine. So here, I can either trade it away or I can kind of reach on a player. I'm really excited for Derek Colvin. I think he's going to be good. Supposed to go in the late second round. Could probably wait on him. The thing is, though, do I really even want to wait? Usually, the trade down options at this point, they're not really worth it. I mean, I'll check quickly. Let's see if we can get like a first rounder or something next year. Very much doubt it, but let's check. I'm just looking for a first rounder for next year, and I do not see any. Okay, there's a bunch of good value later, but I'm just going to go with a free safety. I'm confident he's going to be at least in the 70s. So that should be starting caliber for me for this season. So here we go, Derek Colvin. He's a 74 with hidden dev trait. That was a great draft pick. I'm excited to see what he can do. Not the fastest, but pretty good size, 6'2". I will take it. 83 hit power, 91 acceleration, 76 tackling. This guy can slide over to strong safety if we need him to. Because he has good hit power, you know, pretty bad coverage, but good acceleration, good, you know, speed, I guess. Decent speed. He can definitely play strong safety for us if we need him to. Because I think I'm going to be drafting another safety at some point. And then one of them will be free, one of them will be strong. I'll just figure it out later then. But right now, we have the 22nd pick. The next pick is in the second round. Okay, well, I kind of want this wide receiver at some point. All right, Josh Sullivan. Supposed to go early third round. I don't really expect him to be that good, but maybe he'll have a hidden dev trait. I'm going to go with this projected third round. This could be a stupid draft pick, but I honestly think it'll pay off. 70 overall. Okay, not a bad draft pick. Took him a little bit early, I guess. I'm still comfortable with this guy starting, though, to be honest. I'm not sure where yet, but, you know, probably somewhere. In the second round here, we will be getting that wide receiver. He's probably going to be in the 60s, if I had to guess. That's just usually what happens with wide receivers who aren't supposed to go in the first round, I mean. I could go with Russell Yates still, but I like Josh Sullivan a little bit more. He's a 68 overall normal dev. That's kind of what I figured he'd be. 89 speed, 91 acceleration, 93 jumping, though, is quite good. Maybe we can get him some action. I'm not sure how, but we'll figure something out. There's this right tackle left, Ted Allen, who I'm definitely okay going with right now, because he's probably better than the right tackle we have, so I'll take him. 67 overall, honestly, that's good enough to start. You know, I think that was a pretty successful draft. We had a ton of first-round draft picks, and I think we spent them pretty wisely. And why is that still here? Hold A to reorder. That thing is pissing me off, man. We got 278 overalls. I will take it. A 75 overall, 74, and a 70. Then, you know, a couple guys down here who are not too good, but it's okay. Actually, this 67 is not bad at all. Alright, maybe he can get some playing time. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I'll just assemble the best offensive line I can with the players we have. Who was the #1 ranked player? Because I don't think we got him. It was probably this guy, Jermaine Poindexter, dude. This guy looked very good. I was tempted to take him. But there are still many good-looking left tackles in this class. I thought it would have been pretty foolish to take one super early. When did he go? He went #5, okay? I definitely thought Amari Walker was more valuable at, you know, that point, because we still ended up getting a nice left tackle anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Also, Malcolm Beal doesn't look too different from Tim Murrell. Where is the other guy? Then there was one other one, right? Yeah, Jerron Harris probably. So I think we got the best of the bunch out of the players who were left, but of course this Poindexter guy's a lot better. But then we also got another 78. I'm guessing Poindexter is probably ranked 0th in this class. Dale Martin also looked pretty good at defensive tackle. Lewis Waters was that other wide receiver. He has hidden dev trait. Let me check out the dev trait on this guy, because I was close to going with him. James Halterman, what kind of dev does he have? He has star, okay. And now let me check out that middle linebacker. I'm curious about him as well. Just in general, he has a 72 overall, hidden dev traits. Pretty nice looking stats, good acceleration, good speed. Reaches his top speed, you know, quickly. What kind of dev does he have? He has superstar at least. I don't know if that's anything else, right? Oh, that's superstar X Factor. The reason I know that is because I went right and it went back to normal. So yeah, that's superstar X Factor. That's pretty cool. All right, the Raiders definitely picked well there. Okay, I'm giving away quite a bit here, right? Emmanuel Ogbah, it's not a lot, right? He's kind of expendable right now on this team. I don't need him anymore. But the 2 first-round draft picks, a lot of value, you know, are there. But I'm getting Keanu Neal in return, which I think is a fine, you know, switch. But I think I'm going to try to get one of those first-rounders back again. Okay, I got a first-rounder back. It happened to be the 14th. It was hard to get my own back again, but I'll still take this. This will be the team for the second season. I'm going to go kind of risky with wide receiver here once again. I'm going to start Sullivan. 68 overall, kind of in the same boat as Preston Williams last year, but maybe Sullivan can do something here. Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson, and the other wide receivers. What is Albert Wilson's ability, by the way? Jukebox, okay. He goes up to superstar like all the time. it's pretty interesting. But Nick Chubb still on the team. Josh Rosen still on the team. I didn't even look for a quarterback because the quarterback class did not look good. I guess we drafted Rhett Vernon, though. Let's go. 83 throw power. It's electric. The offensive line looks very different. Joe Tooney now starting at left guard. Will Hernandez at right guard. I think they're both actually considered a left guard. Yeah, let me move Will Hernandez over. I think this might make the overall of the team go up a little bit, so why not? Let's see what happens. This also may switch them around. I don't know why Madden does this, but let's see. Will Hernandez could end up at left guard after this. And that is what's going to happen. I don't know why that always is the case. I'll fix it before I simulate, though. But then we have Murrell starting at left tackle. Murrell or Murrell, I don't know how I really want to pronounce it yet. Michael Dieter slid over to center. Doesn't make all that much sense. His overall went down, but it's fine. I'd rather have him there than somewhat random. And then Allen is now the starting right tackle. Is another rookie. Mike Gesicki still the starting tight end. And then defensively, Raekwon McMillan kicked outside. His overall went up. That's why I wanted to do that. Joe Schobert now, middle linebacker. Jerome Baker, left outside linebacker. A ton of rookies on this side of the ball. I'm very excited to see what they can do. Also, Keanu Neal, the newest player for the Miami Dolphins. I'm expecting this team to maybe put up like 8 wins. Not necessarily expecting a playoff berth, but we'll see what happens. Maybe we can get lucky. So at week 9, the team is 1-6. All right, so not playing well whatsoever. 6-2 for the Bills, 3-4 for the Patriots, 2-4-1 for the Jets. Okay, well, the team is definitely better than it was last year, but I did not expect it to be 1-6. We do have a breakout player challenge, though, for Devontae Parker. So he could potentially go up to superstar. Don't really think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to have him be the #1 the rest of the season, though. Doesn't really seem like this guy's cutting it here. He only has 1 experience point. Yeah, Devontae Parker, just be the number 1, Albert Wilson be the number 2. We're just going to have it this way. Hopefully we can sign a great wide receiver in free agency this year. But Muriel has star dev at left tackle. I'll take it. Defensively, we have an X-Factor left end and a superstar right end. Good lord, this draft was unreal. This guy was a defensive tackle, by the way. What's his ability? Fearmonger? Oh my god, that guy is overpowered beyond belief. Amari Walker has the secure tackler ability. Okay, well hopefully those guys are at least going off. I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but I like to build up on defense before anything else, and that's kind of how I always structure my rebuilds. But right now the defense is an 81, offense 73, so it's definitely going that way here once again. What does this have to do with anything? Offensive coordinator talking about Thursday night? Emphasize rest over preparation. This team sucks anyway. Let's go. +7 morale. Oh, the Texans will not be able to handle our confidence. Keanu Neal, though, is the top free agent. I want him back on the team. Gary and Conley, I would definitely like. Devontae Parker, I'll probably bring back. Albert Wilson is an interesting one, right? Because he went off last year. If he does just as well again, I feel like I kind of have to bring him back. Raekwon McMillan, I once. Devon Gottschall, I should probably give a contract to as well. But let's start out here with Keanu Neal. I'll let you know if I don't get anyone. If you don't hear from me, that means I got all these guys. So obviously here once again, we missed out on the playoffs, but we just had a very good game against the Jets. Okay, the team went 7-9. Wow, they turned it around. Almost clinching out a playoff berth, to be honest. 9-7 for the Bills, 6-9-1 for the Jets, 5-11 for the Patriots. Let me check out that second half of the season. My lord, we were a different team. So we started off here 1-6. So this was 1-6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, so we actually went 1-7. Then we won a ton of games in a row, lost 2 more, and then beat the Jets. That was a totally different team the second half of the year. Okay, well, anyway, let's check out these stats. Josh Rosen looks like he had a pretty similar year, and that's the case. Another solid season. If he plays like this, you know, for all 4 years or whatever, I'm perfectly fine with it. Nick Chubb was great. Better than last year, over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Definitely had a better offensive line to run behind, so I'm sure that affected his, totals a lot. Albert Wilson was very good here once again. Devontae Parker, not too bad, 8 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki gets 4. Josh Sullivan definitely did not seem like he was cutting it. We need a number 1 wide receiver for sure on this team. The offensive line, infinitely better than last year. 107 tackles from Raekwon McMillan. We have 103 from Joe Schobert. 13 tackles for loss for Christian Wilkins, 12 for Roosevelt Glenn, who had 10 sacks. We finally got some pressure. 7.5 from Amari Walker's, also good. 5.5 for Devon Gottschall. 5 interceptions from Keanu Neal. He seemed to be a great acquisition. 3 from Joe Schobert, 1 from Raekwon McMillan, Jerome Baker, Gary and Conley, Cordrea Tankersley, and that is it. Hopefully Roosevelt Glenn won Rookie of the Year. As an X Factor, that would be amazing. Keanu Neal, defensive touchdown. Safeties, we got 1 for Amari Walker. Blocked kick from Raekwon McMillan and Christian Wilkins, and a couple forced fumbles. We have 3, and 2 of them were recovered. Okay, so this year we were 24th on offense, and somebody just left. I apologize for the door. And 17th on defense. It's a lot better than it was last year, so I'll take it. Mitchell Trubisky, though, of course, casually wins MVP. Exactly what everybody expects. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Patrick Mahomes. Defensive Player of the Year, Devin Bush is going to win it. Interesting. Usually don't see him winning it, but you definitely see him up there very frequently. Raekwon McMillan, though, at number 9. I'll take it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, James Halterman wins that one. Josh Sullivan, though, at number 2. I guess I'll take it. Rhett Vernon, our backup quarterback, at number 7. Okay. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Javonte Hurts. He's another X Factor. Roosevelt Glenn at number 2. Amari Walker at number 5, Derek Colvin at number 8. I almost just, showed off the experience points, but I think I'm actually going to wait to the Super Bowl to do that. I gotta get in the habit of doing that when I don't make the playoffs, because they end up getting more, experience points at the Super Bowl week anyway, so it's going to be the same exact Super Bowl. Interesting. Let's advance the week. Is it going to be the same outcome? No, very different, 28-7, but let's check out these experience points and potential dev upgrades. I don't think I see anything on offense in terms of dev upgrades, but 3 experience points for Josh Rosen, 4 for this Muriel guy. I'll take it. And then defensively, 5 for Glenn. Raekwon McMillan is an X Factor. Okay. 4 for Walker, 2 for Colvin. All right, so these guys are developing very well. I'm super excited to see what this team can do next year. I think, hopefully, we can make it into the playoffs if free agency goes well. And I honestly think it will. $42.47 million. Honestly, I'm just looking for a #1 wide receiver. And I could also be looking for a left tackle. Yo, should I bring back Laramie Tunsil? Malik Hooker is super intriguing. But Colvin was just a rookie last year. I feel like it would be dumb of me to go with Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker's so good, man. But I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to let Colvin do his thing over there, see what he can do. I could bring back Kenny Stills to the team as well. I don't need another cornerback. I'm good in that department. I still do need a wide receiver, though. Will Fuller is the best wide receiver. Is he getting any offers? He is. I might throw him an offer and then still potentially try to draft one. I was really hoping for like a crazy X Factor to be here, but it's alright. We got Will Fuller and we got Ronnie Stanley. Sweet. I think the left tackle we drafted last year is going to move to right tackle now. Okay, so I would love to trade up in this draft. Honestly, to #1 maybe. I want to see if I can. I would really like to do it without getting rid of my first round draft pick though. So let's try to do that to the best of my ability. If I can't get this to go through, then I don't know. I'll just do something else, I guess. Man, I really didn't want to do this. I love me some Jakeem Grant, but he's like the most expendable wide receiver on the team now. He's getting up there in age. He's like 28. He doesn't start, so I'm sorry. I just kind of had to do it. I really needed to trade up here because I want this offensive lineman real badly. He can easily play center for us. I think that's going to be fine. It is going to be this guy, David Beal, and I really expected the Bengals to take him. But also, there's some other great-looking players in this draft class. I could go quarterback. Teddy Hadley. Could be interesting, but I'm going to trust in Rosen for one more year here. There's a really good-looking cornerback in this class I do not need, but he just looks great. Good-looking defensive tackle, good-looking middle linebacker, whatever. We're going David Beal. He's an 80 with hidden. He was the first-ranked player in the class. I think that was a nice trade-up. He is very good. There's really nothing wrong with this player, to be honest. He's even kind of fast. 74 speed. Alright, this guy is going to be a great offensive lineman. Now, I wanted to keep my other draft pick because there were some other decent players like who were projected to go in the second round. And are there any of them here? Okay, there's a wide receiver still here, and there's also this right end. This right end looks pretty good, but I don't really think I need him that much. I want this wide receiver. I want to see what he can do. Dre Spence has good top 3 skills, but I don't really expect him to be higher than like a 72. We're going to try it, though. He's a 74 with hidden. Okay, alright. 91 speed, 93 acceleration, 82 catching. Now, I have no idea where I want this guy to play. I kind of want him playing the slot. Albert Wilson has been great there, don't get me wrong, but this guy could be the next Albert Wilson. You know, he could potentially have superstar depth this year. That would be phenomenal. He can go up in overall like crazy. That would be huge. And now I think this might be the last pick I show. I don't know, but I'm going to go defensive tackle. Jonathan Irwin. Here we go. He's a 71 normal dev, ranked 19th. Took him at number 43. That was a really good pick. Now, if this wide receiver is available, I will go with him. But if he's not available, you guys won't even see this. So that's interesting. But here we go. Let's see if this guy is here. Kyrie Darius just went. Okay. He is still here. All right, Marion Tharp. Welcome. He's a 68 normal. I take so many of those players. He can't catch anything. But aside from that, he's actually really good. If his catching went up like 10, his overall would probably be like a 76. Obviously, that's saying a lot, right? Catching going up 10 is not like a small thing. But that's just kind of showing that he really only needs to get better at catching. I think his release was also low. There's something. The bottom left stat, I'm pretty sure, is in the 60s. I want to say that's release, but I could also be very wrong. But here we go. Let's check out the draft recap. Of course, we got the #1 overall player. That's always cool. We also traded up to the #1 overall pick, so that's kind of what you expect. Who was the #2 overall player, though? Oh, this Teddy Hadley guy went #2. Okay, before I check anybody else out, I need to see what his dev is. It is Superstar X Factor. No, I kind of wanted that guy then based on that. Hopefully this offensive lineman is good for us. I don't know. But who else was here? We have a 79 overall middle linebacker. Oh my lord. Thomas Verdon. This guy looks nutty. What kind of dev does he have? He is Superstar. Oh my god. The 49ers got a new Patrick Willis on their hands, I think. That's based on just potential more than actual ability and whatnot, but my god, this guy looks so good. Holy crap. If it was Patrick Willis, he'd probably need about 12 more hit power, though. Jermon Abbott, number 3 overall. And then Keenan Sherman, a nice-looking corner. Richard Sherman's cousin, I don't know. Garius Burley, good-looking tight end. Walter Alexis, another good-looking middle linebacker. 95 speed corner. Jaleel Cherry looks pretty good. Ed Tanner looked nice. Lynn Crisp, what a name. Daryl Stewart. Okay. Well, there's a pretty good-looking draft class. There's 2 at least superstars. You know, one of them being an X Factor. Hopefully we got another one. That'd be cool. The team finally eclipses an 80 overall. 81 overall for the team. 85 defense, 83 offense. Here is a look at the offense. We have a couple superstars now. Nick Chubb, Will Fuller, Albert Wilson, all superstars. Albert Wilson is the number 4 wide receiver just because we drafted this Spence guy. And I think he's going to have some pretty good upside. He should be able to take over quite nicely in the slot for us. Hopefully that's the case at least. The offensive line is now fully complete. We have Ronnie Stanley now at left tackle. We have this Beal guy at center. Not many of these dudes fit the scheme, but I don't really see that affecting how well the team plays. At least I haven't seen it in the past. Mike Gesicki, still a tight end, of course. And then defensively, we have 2 X Factors and 3 other superstars. This defense is star-studded and a half. I wish the safety had, a superstar or something, but, I'll keep star. That's fine. Good enough for me. There's the team. I am actually expecting a playoff berth for this team. I definitely think we have the talent. Let's see, though. I'm going to be kind of, optimistic for this season. Hopefully it works out. Let's check out what the record of the team is here at Week 9. We are 4-3. Okay, so for the first time, we're actually over 500. Let's go. We are in second place in this division. The Bills 3-4. The Patriots fallen off quite significantly there at 1-6. The important part, though, these hidden development traits. Let's go. On the offense, we have a star center and a star wide receiver. I was really hoping one of them would be superstar, but that's fine. This Spence guy is already going to be a 77 overall, which is better. Almost, no, I was going to say that's better than Albert Wilson. It's close. It's closing in on Albert Wilson, so I'll take it. And then defensively, we have a couple more experience points on this side of the ball. Man, this defense looks so nice. But who do we have to bring back to the team? Oh, Nick Chubb is a very important one. One of the more important parts of the offense. Jerome Baker, I would like. Will Hernandez, I would like. Mike Gesicki. Jason Sanders, Josh Rosen. Honestly, I should probably bring back Kalen Ballage, too. He's a pretty good third down running back. I think everybody else can go. I mean, I should probably bring back Preston Williams as well, just for the love. But let's start out here with Nick Chubb. I'll let you know if I don't get anybody, and we actually don't have too much money to spend here. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Jerome Baker shouldn't be too expensive. Okay, he's not horribly expensive. I'm sort of worried about Josh Rosen, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to rework those later. I can't bring everybody back right now, but hopefully I get them at some point soon. Yeah, so we made the playoffs this year, going 9-7. So did the Bills. They also went 9-7. The Jets were 8-8. The Patriots 4-12. Okay, so I actually made it to the playoffs sooner than I expected to. I honestly don't even know if Josh Rosen deserves this contract. That's really not a good season. I'm going to have to check out which kind of quarterbacks are available, to be honest. Nick Chubb was fantastic. 12 touchdowns, 1,127 yards. I'll take that. Will Fuller was pretty good for us. Devontae Parker, not bad. Dre Spence didn't do like anything, man. Mike Gesicki gets 7 touchdowns. Okay. I mean, that's fair, I guess, because Josh Rosen didn't have the greatest season of all time. Sack numbers are pretty low. I'll take it. 126 tackles here from Joe Schobert leads the team. 14 tackles for loss for Devon Godshaw. 11 from Roosevelt Glenn. 11 from Amari Walker, who had 12 sacks. 3 interceptions from Joe Schobert. 2 from Jerome Baker. 2 from Kendall Fuller and Keanu Neal. 1 from Xavier Howard, Garion Conley, and Devontae Harris. Where is Raekwon McMillan? Did he, not get involved? No, there he is. He had 78 tackles. Just no interceptions this year. Okay. So do we have any safeties? Actually, I'll check touchdowns first. No. Safeties, we have 1, Devon Godshaw. 2 block kicks, Amari Walker, Jonathan Ledbetter. And forced fumbles, 2 from Keanu Neal, 1 from Devon Godshaw and Joe Schobert. And then 1 fumble at recovery. How many catches allowed do we have? 46 for Kendall Fuller. Okay. Anyway, 26th on offense. And we are 3rd on defense. Let's go. Defense pulling through. Anybody from the Dolphins here for MVP? No. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, probably the same thing here. Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett is up there. Joe Schobert, though, at number 5. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Teddy Hadley, that X-Factor quarterback, man. Dre Spence at number 4. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Walter Alexis. Jonathan Irwin, though, at number 5. Yeah, I think that was one of the defensive tackles we drafted. I didn't see anybody else there. I could have totally missed someone, though. But now, how many experience points do we have? We have 5 for this Spence guy. I think he's actually going to be pretty good then for us. Beal has 3. Josh Rosen has another 3. And then defensively, we have 4 for Walker, 2 more for Glenn, 2 more for a couple other guys as well. The team is up to an 83. 85 offense, 89 defense. But let's check out what the Bills' overall is. I feel like we have to have a higher overall than them. They have an 80. Okay, we have an 83. No X factors for them, and we have, what, 2, I think, at this point? Let's advance the week here. Can we take down the Bills? And we can't. 34-28. We lose the first week. That's rough. But I will catch you guys back up in the Super Bowl. The Cardinals and the Browns were actually in the Super Bowl here. Pretty interesting Super Bowl. The Browns very expected, but the Cardinals not as much, and they actually win 24-17. But quickly before I try to get into those negotiations again, let's see. Anybody go up in development trait? I don't think so. It's always nice to check. Defensively, at least on offense, nobody did. Defensively, I think the same thing goes on this side of the ball. Okay, well, the team still looks good to me, so I'm not too worried about it. But this is an issue, right? There's one pretty decent-looking quarterback who I sort of want. Do we have any money for this? No, we're not going to be able to bring him back. So I definitely don't think we're going to be able to bring him back. I may just have to franchise tag him. Let me try to get back Mike Gesicki before I do anything, though. I can raise this a little bit. I'll offer you that. Don't have enough salary cap, dude? How does this work? I have no idea, to be honest. Okay, well, I can't get back Mike Gesicki. Jason Sanders. Alright, this is awesome. So now Josh Rosen, I'll just offer you this contract, I guess. And I'll try to franchise tag you. I at least need Josh Rosen, because if this quarterback doesn't work out, I need Josh Rosen. So I'm not going to have any money to bring anybody back, but that just means I need a tight end and I need a kicker. Pretty easy to find, to be honest. I would have liked to have Mike Gesicki for another season. I probably could have tried to, like, go ahead and cut a couple guys, but obviously there's no chance I can bring in anyone, but I will let you know who is here. I'm not going to try to free up $31 million in cap room, by the way. I'm not even that's not worth it for me. So negative 30 mil in cap room, that's fine. This is probably the last season anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So the top 2 guys are fantastic. I don't think I would have went after either of them. Okay, let me say this. I would have went after Leighton Vander Esch if I could have, but Derwin James I would not have bothered with. And everybody else I wouldn't have really cared too much about. Who could I have gotten at quarterback? Good. I'm very happy I went after Josh Rosen just to secure 1. So yeah, the only thing is I could have went after Leighton Vander Esch, maybe. That's probably not even the case anyway, so this always happens. I don't know if I'm just really mismanaging my money or what, or if just contracts are just bigger in this game than they were in the past Maddens. So that's an issue, but I'll just have to fill tight end in the draft at some point. Is this quarterback still here? He is actually still here. Brent Harrell, welcome to the team. You're a 69 overall. Very happy I decided to bring back Josh Rosen because that guy's not starting caliber whatsoever. Alright, so let's check out this draft recap. It's a riveting draft. That's easily the worst I've ever had. Doesn't really matter though. Didn't have a first rounder. Sort of expected it to be really bad. Who was good in this draft class though? I honestly have no idea. 78 overall corner, Tony Betts with 94 speed. Only normal dev on this guy, but man, he's good. Okay. 77 overall, Daniel Williams. 77 overall, Brett Cross. 77 overall, Davion Riddick. All look pretty good. This guy had B+ awareness, I think. No, I don't think it's him. When did he go? The 26th pick. No, I don't think it was that guy. That dude fall all the way there? No, it's probably him. Jeremy Gillisley. Yeah, I think it was this guy. What's his awareness all about? 78. That could be B+. Just depending on... Let's see what Riddick's is all about. Also 78. He might have had B+ as well. 95 acceleration, though. Man, that guy looks so fun. But okay, we're going to have to try to sign somebody in free agency. Issue is, we don't have any money. So I don't know how I can do that. Let's see. I don't want to try to go through and cut people, though. Cameron Brate would actually be a good tight end for us, but can we even sign him? Yeah, no, we can't still. Didn't think so. Okay, so this is what the team is going to look like here for this final season. We ended up getting Demetrius Harris on the team, which I'm fine with. He can definitely start at tight end. Who is Allen? Oh, he's an offensive lineman. Yo, I could have my right tackle play tight end. That's hilarious. He's going to be the backup. Let's go. But anyway, yeah, that's hilarious. This is the rest of the team. We also have a hidden dev running back down here. Matt Cloud. Okay, you're kind of fast. That's really all you have going for you. But yeah, the team isn't in the best position. but it's still an 82 overall. I guess I should say that it's not in the best cap position. But the overall of the team is still fun. There's still a lot of potential on this team. The cap is only really screwed up because we franchise tagged Josh Rosen, but I was in a position where I had to. Again, I didn't really manage my money, I guess, as best as possible because Keanu Neal is super expensive, but he's a 93 overall. I thought it was still pretty fair. But, you know, we were still able to retain, like, the entire roster. I'm good with this team. I definitely think this team can make it back to the playoffs. We also got a random kicker. We got this Spellman guy. I'm good with it. Let me simulate now, and hopefully we're in the playoffs. Yeah, alright, so this team didn't make the playoffs. I don't necessarily understand how, but it's alright. I mean, it was like an 83 overall. I'm not going another season. It's just going to end here, I guess. We went 7-8-1. Oh my god, we were so close to making it into the playoffs as well. That's very frustrating, but it's just kind of how this game goes sometimes. Josh Rosen was pretty good here once again. Honestly, had 4 seasons identical to this, honestly. I know I mentioned earlier that if he did that, I'd be pretty happy, and, you know, I'm not upset with how he played. Last year, I feel like it was a lot worse than this, but the other 3 years were pretty close. Nick Chubb has been consistently great this entire time, so I'm good with it. Dre Spence had 10 touchdowns this year. Nobody over 1,000 yards. He was the closest, though. Will Fuller gets 7 touchdowns. Nick Chubb received pretty well, 622 yards for him. He had more receiving yards than Albert Wilson did. Demetrius Harris gets 4 touchdowns. Sack numbers, Ronnie Stanley kind of played badly. Everybody else, though, not too bad. 138 tackles, though, from Joe Schobert. 11 tackles for loss for Amari Walker. 10 for Christian Wilkins, 10 for Jerome Baker. These defensive ends have been disgusting together, man. 12 sacks for Roosevelt Glenn, 8 for Amari Walker. This is probably the best duo of defensive ends I have ever drafted. 2 interceptions for Joe Schobert and Raekwon McMillan. 1 from Roosevelt Glenn. He got a pick. Keanu Neal got 1. Kendall Fuller, Gary Conley, Xavier Howard, and Derek Colvin all got 1 as well. Defensive touchdowns. We don't have any safeties. Same thing goes there. Blocked kicks. We have 1 Christian Wilkins. 1 forced fumble from Kendall Fuller, and it was recovered. Okay. 29th on offense. We've always circulated around number 32. Defensively, we were 7th, though, so the defense was fine. That's kind of how I build these teams. Maybe I should focus on offense a little more. I don't know. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Nobody from the Dolphins. Defensive Player of the Year, Javonte Hurts wins it. Man, he's a beast. Joe Schobert, though, at number 2. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jeffrey Shirley wins that one. Brent Harrell at number 6. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody from our team. Best quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Josh Rosen, though, at number 8. I'll take it. Best running back, Le'Veon Bell. Nick Chubb at number 7. Best wide receiver, Jamison Crowder. Best offensive lineman, Quentin Nelson, of course. Ronnie Stanley, though, somehow makes it. Dude, I have no idea. He let up 15 sacks. Alright, nearly 1 a game, and apparently he makes it. Best defensive lineman, Roosevelt Glenn at number 4. Best linebacker, Javonte Hurts. Joe Schobert, though, at number 2. Best defensive back, Desmond King wins that one. Best kicker, Justin Tucker, is going to win it. Our kicker makes it, though, number 8, so that was a pretty good free agency signing. But that is going to do it for this one. I'm sorry I couldn't really make it too far into the playoffs with this team, but gotta give me a break, I guess. This roster isn't great. I'm sure there's people out there who have uploaded rebuilds of the Dolphins of them winning the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. I don't know. It also depends on, you know, how fortunate you get in simulation and who's there in free agency and whatnot. But honestly, I kind of watch rebuilds myself just to see how players progress, see how players do each season, see, you know, how the player or how the content creator drafts. I focus on that stuff way more than making the playoffs, and that probably comes off a little bit in these videos because I like to focus on the draft. I like to focus on development way more than making it to the playoffs. I could probably make it to the playoffs like every season if I really wanted to. If I didn't care about development, if I didn't care about keeping some of these younger players on the team to see what they can do. Because I could always just trade for superstars. It's pretty easy. Even in a game that's making it a little bit more difficult, it's still pretty easy. I know if you guys catch my drift there, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I thought this one still went pretty well, even though we only made the playoffs 1 of 4 years. I think the draft made up for it, to be honest. But one final time, thank you guys so much for watching. If you ended up enjoying this video, feel free to leave a like down below. It'd help me out a ton, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.